Dad, I've actually found learning at home has been better than I thought, and I feel I'm much farther ahead than many of my friends.
Visit laurelsprings.com to learn more about a unique way of getting your child the personalized education they need. For 30 years, Laurel Springs School has been engaging global learners in grades kindergarten through 12th grade and integrating their passions and pursuits. Laurel Springs School. We build an education around you.
Hey, I'm Peter Bukowski, host of the Locked On Today podcast. Trying to stay on top of every big story in sports is a full-time job. I know, because it is my full-time job, but it's not yours. That's why we have a network of local experts ready to give you the inside scoop on everything you truly need to know in the sports world, and we do it every day to make sure you're always caught up on the latest and greatest in sports. Listen to the Locked On Today podcast every day on the Odyssey app or wherever you get podcasts.
Hey, Ola, it's Miles. Thank you guys for listening to the Men's Room Daily Podcast.
Have you heard our newest podcast? It's called The Greatest Story Never Told.
Download it today on radio.com. Be sure to subscribe. New episodes are uploaded every Tuesday at noon.
This is the Men's Room.
Forget it, man, and get with the countdown. Shake this square world and blast off the Kicksville. The Drippers, the Grasshoppers, the Hip Ones, all gathered in secrecy and flying high as a kite.
You're listening to the Men's Room with Miles and Thrill.
Your call, it's our standing by. We'll take caller 9 now at 844-999 Ola, and you'll play Profile this in minutes. But first, Bob, and we made it to drinking time.
Somebody out there deserves to be recognized. And the Men's Room knows just who it is. So to you, we say, bottoms up, sailor. You're the toast of our shot of the day.
Drink time it is, and as usual, we head to the drink desk and Steve at Thrill Hill to find out who we're toasting.
Yes, indeed. Look, man, you have the medical community out there, right? You have doctors and nurses. They're getting overworked right now. We found out there's still a lot of places hiring because people are still busting their butts trying to keep this world moving forward, man. There's a lot of things going crazy. There's a lot of uncertainty. God knows, leadership, you're trying to find it. Information, you're trying to find it. So we're all in a weird position. So today I wanted to take a moment to toast those people who during these uncertain times, they keep their focus on the things that matter most. And I'm talking, of course, about the thousands of people petitioning for the release of Cats, the Butthole Cut. In case you don't know, the movie Cats, which received disastrous reviews from critics, it became available on demand earlier this week, man. And as many are stuck in their homes with social distancing and all that stuff with the coronavirus pandemic, people are still going to watch the movie, partly because it's been rated so bad. They're kind of comparing it to the Rocky Horror Picture Show, okay? Like, this movie's so bad, inevitably, it's going to have a cult following. Well, it was released to the public to watch this past Tuesday. An entertainment industry writer, a guy named Jack Waz, he says, quote, a producer friend of mine was hired in November to finish some of the 400 effect shots in the Cats movie. His entire job was to remove the CGI buttholes that had been inserted a few months before, which means that somewhere out there exists the butthole cut of Cats. Well, now Cats fans and haters alike are begging for the butthole version to come out. You cannot make this stuff up. Someone says, my New Year's resolution is to get the cowards at Universal Pictures to release the butthole cut of the Cats movie. There's a hashtag out there, release the butthole cut. That's exactly what we all need right now. That's from the guy that directed Star Wars The Last Jedi. Multiple edits of the film are in fact known to exist, although whether or not as they call it now, the butthole cut exists, yet to be confirmed. But after Cats was named one of the 10 worst films of 2019, the director, he requested a new, more tightly edited version with what he calls improved visual effects to be re-released and distributed into theaters. But one of the key complaints of the originals was that in one scene, actress Judi Dench can be seen not with a furry paw, but with a human hand. But what people really want to see is the butthole. So Cats, which has been panned by seemingly everyone, except Andrew Lloyd Webber, of course, it was a box office flop, but now it looks like if this butthole cut, as they call it, exists, think how stupid this is. This is going to be one of the most massive movie releases that you could possibly have. So in these uncertain times, people don't know what to do. Just know there are people out there that still are focused on the important things and hopefully will bring us this outstanding
get bigger
version.
Numbers in the first run.
Listen, there is no chance that I want to watch the Cats movie. And as dumb as this sounds, I know it'll be the same movie, but if you say, hey, man, It's the butthole cut. I'm in. Maybe it's just me. Aren't you going to watch it now? I mean, I know it's stupid. It doesn't change anything about the movie other than the fact that they're there. So I just wanted to acknowledge these very important people fighting a very, very important fight. We should all thank them together in the form of drink. So we pour this booze and we drink this booze because we think it's yummy. So over the tongue and down the throat to party in our tummies. Down the hola bitola!
The Men's Room presents Profile This.
Hey, Stephen Throwhill, can you please tell everyone how Profile This is played?
I sure can, Miles. It's a simple game where we share with you a real-life news story, something that happened right here on planet Earth. And as you listen to the story, based on the stereotypes you believe to be true of people and the decisions that people make, we'll ask you what it is you think makes the story a story. Hello, Ray. Welcome to the Men's Room.
Hola.
Hola! Ray, how you hanging in there, man?
Oh, fine. Just heading up to work.
What are you doing?
Construction.
You're doing construction. You got the full crew working, man?
What's that?
Is the full crew working?
Yeah, I got the full crew working like 60-hour week.
What are you guys doing, residential or commercial?
Commercial.
Commercial.
Now, why does your phone keep cutting in and out?
Oh, that's because it's 167.
Ah, okay. Middle of nowhere.
Definitely not the traffic. Is your wife working?
No.
So she's staying at home?
Yeah, she's school for school district.
Oh, okay, so they're all shut down at this point in time. All right.
Yeah.
All right, well, my friend, as we do for everyone, you have one of three stories to pick from. One of these stories has to do with the world of drugs. The other two stories have to do with race/ethnicity, but the choice is up to you. Which kind of story would you like to tackle? Would you like to tackle what kind of drug you think is responsible, or race/ethnicity?
I will go with the drugs.
Drugs! People are loving the drugs. I don't blame you.
I think it's politically correct.
Okay, yeah. Have you done some drugs in your day, Ray?
No.
Okay. I didn't think so because you have your CDL license, I'm sure.
Which means you've never, ever done them.
No.
Ever.
No.
All right, here is your story.
Marijuana when I was a kid, that's it.
Oh, it's still cool when you're an adult, too. Great thing. But we go to the fine state of Ohio, Westchester Township. And this is where you say to yourself, man, oh man, it's good to be rich, because this guy is terrible. A well-connected businessman, he's been sentenced to community service in connection with the beating of his wife. Jeffrey Couch, he pleaded guilty to aggravated assault in Butler County. He was sentenced to 100 hours of community service. Now, he's the owner of RV Nation, which calls itself the #1 RV dealer in the Midwest. Maybe it's true, maybe it's not. But he was initially charged with domestic violence and felonious assault in connection with an assault. All other charges, besides aggravated assault, have been dropped. Now, according to the prosecutor, they said the couple got into a fight in their driveway after returning home. And for whatever reason, this guy just snapped. As a result of him snapping, there was an assault that ended up with the imprint of his wife's head on the asphalt driveway in two separate places. Let me repeat that. As a result of this, there was an imprint of his wife's head in two different places on an asphalt driveway. Now, the wife isn't the only victim in this case. A witness to the assault, they've been the victim of witness intimidation. Basically, it started coming through Facebook. This guy realized there's a witness. He's going to testify against him. So this guy threatened them through Facebook. Not only was that happening because this guy's loaded, there were several delays in the trial. The latest challenge, finding a judge that would actually hear the case, because 4 judges had already stepped down. The initial judge in the case recused himself. 3 more judges also recused themselves in the last month. None of the judges said why, but I think we know. In the end, it was finally handed over to Judge Michael Oster, who gave his friend 100 hours community service for smashing his wife's head. But either way, this guy, look, he's been apologetic, saying all the right things, a little bit too late. But he blames actions on a little bit of something that he had in the system. So my question to you, what do you think he said he had in the system to do all this? Do you believe it was methamphetamine, cocaine, booze, or PCP? So meth, coke, booze, or PCP, one of these 4 drugs, according to him, is why he lost his mind.
Yeah. What do you guys think? I got an idea. I think cocaine.
You think cocaine? That's not a bad guess. I have done cocaine in Ohio.
I'll admit
Have you
that.
done cocaine in Ohio?
Yeah, in Ohio, yeah. Went up there when I was like a freshman in college. My buddy had moved up there in high school.
All right.
That's all his friends did. Basically,
Rich kids.
farming and cocaine.
Okay.
Pretty much, yeah. I mean, whatever they did.
I love that you've done cocaine specifically in Ohio.
Springfield, Ohio.
You can really relate to what's going on.
I really can. I'll tell you what I think here, Ray. If you really want my expert opinion on this, which is not really an expert opinion, but I'll give it to you anyway.
All right.
If he's on PCP, I don't think he would be a successful Ohio businessman. Not that people don't fall, but this guy is still in operation and people like what he does. He has to have some wherewithal. PCP is one of those drugs where once you get on it, your whole life is in shambles and really you can't keep anything together. As far as cocaine goes, yes, I've done cocaine in Ohio, but...
Sorry about farting, Miles.
Thank you. We need a mask for your ass.
Have to pull your finger.
I'll tell you what I think. How many judges?
4 judges recused themselves. 4. And again, it's because the dude's loaded and they're kind of scared of him. But 4 judges recused themselves, and the guy that finally heard the trial, in spite of all this evidence, a witness to it all, 100 hours community service.
If the guy knew, all right, if any of those judges who probably know each other because it's a small town, all right, or a small area, they all know this guy. He's the what? What does he do for a living?
He owns RV Nation.
He's the RV Nation capital of the world. He's probably got commercials on every 30 seconds.
I'll guarantee.
Friday, Saturday, Sunday. He's that guy. Okay?
Right.
So everybody knows him. If he was busted with meth, cocaine, or PCP, a judge would have taken that case because it's open and shut. It's not personal. It's not that I don't know you. It's not that we're not friends.
Right.
It's just that I can't put these charges on you. 100 hours of community service you would never get if you were under the possession of meth or cocaine or PCP. You get a longer sentence. This guy's an alcoholic, and he's got a severe alcoholic problem. This is not the first time he's ever beaten his wife before.
Yeah,
this time it happened out in front of the house. The reason that all those judges recused themselves from this, they drink too. They know the guy. He just got drunk and beat up his wife. That would be the mentality of these guys, right? Which is stupid, but that's the mentality. He only got 100 hours of community service. Everything else was dropped. Alcohol is the biggest excuse out there for doing crap like this. He put 2 asphalt dents into their driveway with his wife's head. Mm-hmm. If I'm a judge, I cannot relate to you if you've done PCP. I cannot relate to you. I've never done meth. I can tell you that one night I got drunk and did something dumb. That's the reason he got 100 hours community service, which is an injustice. And I hope his wife left him and takes half his crap.
Yeah,
It is booze 100%, Ray. Alcohol.
Yeah.
Alcohol's the demon here.
Alcohol. Yeah, I think that is.
You want to go there for final answer?
Yeah, alcohol, final answer.
Okay. We're going to find out if this jackass was on meth, cocaine, booze, or PCP next.
That was a tease.
You are listening to the Men's Room Radio Network.
Dad, I've actually found learning at home has been better than I thought. And I feel I'm much further ahead than many of my friends.
Visit laurelsprings.com to learn more about a unique way of getting your child the personalized education they need. For 30 years, Laurel Springs School has been engaging global learners in grades kindergarten through 12th grade and integrating their passions and pursuits. Laurel Springs School. We build an education around you.
Hey, I'm Peter Bukowski, host of the Locked On Today podcast. Trying to stay on top of every big story in sports is a full-time job. I know, because it is my full-time job. But it's not yours. That's why we have a network of local experts ready to give you the inside scoop on everything you truly need to know in the sports world. And we do it every day to make sure you're always caught up on the latest and greatest in sports. Listen to the Locked On Today podcast every day on the Odyssey app or wherever you get podcasts.
Hola, bitches. You're listening to The Men's Room.
Hey, heads up. Elysian Brewing is now offering free delivery of beer straight to your door. Do you know what that means, Steve?
What does that mean?
That means you can get a 15-pack of delicious Men's Room Red delivered to your door in cans. Maybe get a second 15-pack or a third. Or if you want it on draft, just head up to their Capitol Hill location. They are doing growlers to go, and they are doing orders through their website. Yes, you can get Men's Room beer sent to your door, ElysianBrewing.com, and help out our veterans in 3 local Fisher houses in the area. While doing so, from what we understand, they will be available to deliver all weekend long. So if you're stuck at home, you can't get out for whatever reason, you don't have access to a car, just go to ElysianBrewing.com. You can call them, do whatever you need. They will deliver Men's Room Red to your door. All right, as far as profile this is concerned, we head to Ohio. and a businessman who was given 100 hours of community service.
Yeah.
Basically, he got home and got into a confrontation with his wife in front of the house. When he snapped, he left an imprint of his wife's head on the asphalt driveway not once but twice. Then he threatened his neighbor, who witnessed the assault. Again, went through a number of judges. A lot of them recused themselves. Either way, all said and done, he got 100 hours of community service, and I'm sure that he hasn't sold an RV, hopefully, in his RV park since.
Who knows, man? But that'll teach him. So, Ray, we asked you, did you believe that this guy who, he snapped, you see, he was just angry because he had either meth, coke, booze, or PCP in his system. Meth, Jesus. Miles, you see how I confused the two?
Yeah. I don't know why you call me that. I don't know why. Why you call me that, huh?
Miles, of course, insists that it is booze. It seems to make the most sense in his mind that this is the one drug, quote unquote, you can get away with in court to explain your actions and somehow it's swept under the carpet. But Ray, you agreed. You said it on.
Yeah, I did.
Good. What
Come on, Ray, let's better be booze.
I hope it's booze.
You are correct.
Don't you feel so much better about what happened now? Because I sure as hell don't. What a jackass.
Congratulations, Miles.
Someone needs to beat his ass.
You think?
Yeah, I do. Okay. Now for all TV news all the time, it's time for TV Time with Tim.
And now, because your pathetic life is confined to countless hours in front of a talking box, the Men's Room presents TV Time with Ted.
Look who it is. It's Mike Hawk.
What's happening, everybody?
How are you, sir?
I've spent the last 10 minutes just in a timeout cooling off listening to
You're a Renaissance man. You're doing it all today.
I am, man.
You're doing FCC. You're doing news you're not working on. You're doing TV time. But the good news is, from all this hard work, if you didn't catch the early part of the show, we have figured out a way to get Mike not to have to wear suspenders on his wedding. So far, no matter what happens here, just know that you're already a winner. We're all doing good. Not that you'll actually have that wedding now, but whatever.
And that's why you don't have to wear them.
Exactly. You don't have to do anything.
We're all good to go.
That's right.
So, as you guys know, during all these tough times, there's a lot of celebrities that have been checking in lately, kind of posting up on Twitter, on Instagram, letting everybody know just what they need to be doing, making sure that they are doing their due diligence, showing everybody that they are staying at home in their own isolated areas, and encouraging you all to do the same. And one of the big ones that we knew of was Arnold Schwarzenegger. He came out here recently. He was on in his hot tub with his big old.
I am warm in backyard hot tub.
With his big
home, be miserable like me in a hot tub.
I have mansion in California.
So you guys know the clip. So it is actually not the only one that he's cut in all this. He actually did make another one here for everybody, just in case you didn't get the message the first time.
I just finished a bike ride and a little bit of workout, and I just, keep staying at home, away from the crowds and away from outside. The reason why I'm saying that is because I still see photographs and videos of people sitting in outside cafes all over the world and having a good time and hanging out in crowds. That is not wise, because that's how you can get the virus. So stay away from crowds, go home, and then we can overcome this whole problem, this whole virus, in no time.
Okay. Arnold was the governor of California.
Correct.
California.
Our friends at 98 Rock in Sacramento, California know this. When he was the governor of California, he was married to Maria Shriver.
Yeah.
All right. This was before they were separated, et cetera, et cetera.
I like her skinny bones.
Okay. She was in Los Angeles and Hollywood. When he became the governor, obviously, he needed to spend some time in Sacramento.
Right.
According to the Hollywood people that he lived and was around, that was not kosher for them. They really didn't want to live in Sacramento, California. Mm-hmm. But the governor did, and he went up there, and he did his job. And he does know a little bit about self-quarantine, even though it looks hypocritical as hell when you see
it. It's not that he's a hypocrite. It's not that at all.
It's just the reason
your house is different than ours.
The reason they didn't leave the L.A. mansion is because, you know what? The mansion in L.A. was nicer than the governor's house in Sacramento, California.
Yeah, you're not being a hypocrite.
So
it's just,
we take the governor's mansion in a heartbeat. I'm sure it's a beautiful home with a lot of amenities, but when you're the governor and you've got like a Malibu beach house and you're telling me to stay at home, like, look, I would love to be stuck in Hawaii right now. Oh, this Maui sucks. We have to stay on this balcony and smoke weed and, look at the ocean every night. Now, granted, it's just not, This is not regular America, so I get his message is correct.
But he needs to stop showing himself.
But it's a lot easier for him to be able to do this than most other people. He has a weight room in his home. He has a pool at his house. He's got tennis courts. He's got basketball courts. He's got a movie theater. He's got a catered chef. He has everything.
I have a room with nothing in it just because I have the room.
I have a new maid to have sex with now. He's got it all. So he doesn't, this is not the worst case scenario for the governor.
I actually just sent Robin an email here. It's a BuzzFeed article that I'm hoping that we can get up on our Facebook page here soon. It's of not only Arnold, but all of the other people over in LA and Hollywood that are telling everybody to just sit back and relax.
By the way, he's smoking a Cuban cigar.
Yeah. Yes, he is. In his hot tub.
Now, I don't know what you know about the embargo.
Right.
But they kind of flipped that. The latest president. It was cool for about 6 months. When Obama was there, but the different administration changed those policies. So he's smoking, an
illegal cigar.
It's more illegal to smoke that now than a joint. Yeah. In California, that is illegal. It is.
But they got Kourtney Kardashian
I'm just
out
saying,
there.
I don't care one way or another. Smoke whatever you want. Smoke them if you got them. But
telling everybody that they need to stay in their own homes while she has her big old horse field that's out there.
Who's this now?
That's Kourtney Kardashian. Out there in her nice, beautiful open field.
Just stay on your own property. I'm not leaving my 486 acres.
And don't come back.
This is Joe Jonas's fridge that is absolutely stocked with all kinds of alcohols and food.
Joe Jonas's refrigerator, everybody, looks like something you would see in the back of a restaurant.
Right.
Exactly.
Because it's a restaurant-grade 2-door refrigerator. That's not a freezer. That's just one unit that is the refrigerator.
Again, stop showing us this stuff.
This is Ellen DeGeneres' own personal gym that she's using to kind of relieve all the tension. And honestly, the gym is bigger than my entire apartment.
Right.
And she's got a little fold-down TV that comes out of nowhere, out of the ceiling.
What's worse?
She's watching her own show.
What's worse, all right? This crap or the Peloton commercial where you got like one single dude in a penthouse, you know what I mean, with one room just designated for his Peloton, and he looks across to the other skyscraper, and there's another woman who's single and attractive. She too has a Peloton facing the exact same direction with nothing in that room but a bike. And those two lonely single people are Pelotoning together in between two skyscrapers.
I'll tell you what's worse. The celebrities. Because Peloton isn't telling you anything.
Right. This just happened.
That's not advice. That is, wouldn't you like to live like this? You're healthy, you're buff, and this woman who's hot doesn't mind that you're actually really creepy. Isn't that awesome?
I knew what happened. They ordered furniture, both of them, from the Pottery Barn, and they said it was going to take 8 weeks, but it really took like 6 months. So the only thing they got was Peloton because they actually bring the bikes on time.
So if you want to see how people that are much more rich than you are and are living better than you are telling you that you need to stay in your own homes, head on over to the Men's Room Facebook page. We will get that BuzzFeed article up there.
It's true, though.
Somebody else who also checked in, who's also having a pretty tough time himself, is LeBron James. As most of you know, a lot of the
hairline.
That's right. The NBA is shut down right now, so a lot of them are forced to stay home. There's a lot of NBA players that are starting to test positive, so they're pretty much all just completely quarantined right now.
And he just came off the whole Kobe thing. Don't forget that, too. I mean, he's a Laker. He had to go through those ceremonies, all that stuff that happened before that led into this.
Exactly. So LeBron is now staying at home, and he's actually found one of the issues that he's facing in self-isolation.
When they advise you to be quarantined for 14 days and isolated from nobody, can't even get a haircut from a barber.
He's looking scruffy.
Want me to stay away from him? I'm looking like Tom Hanks off Castaway. She can't even go and get her hair done, so she gonna just cut him out herself.
Uh-oh.
That's his wife.
Little Whoopi Goldberg over here. Struggle's real to James. Gotta do what we gotta do.
He was not kidding about his wife. She's literally leaned over. Now, if you haven't seen her image, she has got this braided hair that goes all the way down to about mid-chest. She's got really long braids, right? In the video, when he pans over to her, she is literally leaned over a garbage can with a set of scissors.
Cutting them out.
It is cutting her hair out.
Yeah.
And it did kind of leave just enough of a short to where she did, yes. And
well, you said that your fiancé wanted you to grow your hair out for the wedding.
Indeed.
Well, I don't know if you have a choice.
Right?
Yeah, I mean, that's true. I mean, no one's getting their hair cut.
Gaines, cut your own hair.
We're going to see.
Doesn't your uncle have a Flowbee?
We're going to see the real you.
I was lucky enough to get one final haircut in like a couple, 3 days before everybody started locking down. Miles, have you been able to get your hair cut since?
No, I don't know. You were in the office.
You set him up. Look at it.
I said, I better call now because when we get off the air, I better go get a haircut because they're going to close all this crap down a few days back. So I call up. It's like, I don't know, 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Like, we're closing for good at 3. And I'm like, I know it. Missed it by 4 hours. It's just like happy hour. We can't get out of here and go anywhere, you know?
Single day.
Yeah.
More news as far as the world of sports goes. WrestleMania obviously has had a lot of difficulty here lately. They've announced that WrestleMania 36 is going to have a little bit of a different scheme to it.
And it's not going to be in the stadium like we initially thought.
Correct. So another thing that's going to be happening right now is that the WWE has confirmed that WrestleMania 36 will not feature Battle Royale matches this year to limit the amount of superstars gathering in the ring.
Smart.
So you have the annual Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royale and the Women's Battle Royale, that matches that were supposed to be on there. They're going to fully cancel those.
Are they going to release the Andre the Giant cologne? Because no one's ever looked at Andre the Giant and didn't say, I want to smell like he.
Did he always look sweaty?
Yes. He just looks like a man who didn't smell good.
For those that haven't been following along, as Miles says, WrestleMania was relocated from Raymond James Stadium in Tampa Bay to the WWE Performance Center, where there will be no fans in attendance due to the coronavirus pandemic. In addition, the event will be split into 2 days this year and feature matches from various closed set locations.
And Rob Gronkowski will be the host for both of those nights.
Correct.
Yeah.
That's going to be interesting.
Yeah.
Honestly,
I think he'll do a great job.
I may buckle under and actually just buy WrestleMania this year because I do want to see how
and
that
it's going to be 2 nights.
It is.
So you get a couple days of that's the closest thing you're going to see to live sports.
I know. It really is.
So we've been talking about how you survive in all of this quarantine mess right now. I'm going to bring you guys a little bit of word of advice. Dr. Phil has come forward and he has given us the information that we need in order to survive coexisting in quarantine.
Well, mustache thick enough that you can eat it for a week.
Can you do a Dr. Phil?
Can I do a Dr. Phil? I can try.
Think Bill Clinton.
Bill Clinton.
Okay. Now just slow it down a whole lot.
Just slow it down.
Slow it down is Bill Clinton. But you speed that up, now you're Dr. Phil. So slowing it down means, hey, Monica.
Gotcha. So
when you speed that up, now you're Dr. Phil.
All right. So the first bit of advice I can give you for coexisting in quarantine is be honest.
Okay.
Acknowledge up front that you're stuck together, and this is how it has to be.
You are not Dr. Phil. You're a random idiot.
I am. I'm absolutely.
You're doing a great job.
I'm trying.
Yeah,
honestly, I haven't polished my Dr.
You're
Phil.
talking almost like Marvin the Martian.
Just speed it up a little bit.
Speed it up a little bit.
Dr. Phil's a little bit pissed off right now.
Make a list of annoyances. More up front you are, you can't about what you can't stand about each other, and the more likely you are to avoid those behaviors.
You got jacked up toes. Just go ahead. And I hate it when you put them on me at night.
The worst thing would have to be related to Dr. Phil and have to listen to him if you're all holed up.
Rule number 3, don't argue in front of the children.
Hey, kids, get the F out of here. I'm about to yell at mama.
This one's pretty self-explanatory. Mm-hmm. Have a safe word. I have not pre-read these. Have a safe word.
Your mom's is pretzel.
Know when to say when, so you can end an argument and walk away.
Where are you going to go? Where are you going to go, Phil? It's back to the guy who's got like the 2-bedroom apartment.
Hey, quick, Mike.
I'm not,
What's your safe word?
What's my safe word?
Yeah.
Pineapple.
Pineapple?
Pineapple.
Oh.
There's another guy. Did you see Dr. Phil's house when it went up for sale?
No.
He's telling you to go to another area of the home. I mean, like his mansion is just like, it's enormous.
Sure.
You wouldn't even be able to see the person you live with for 2 weeks without a quarantine.
Good Lord.
If you wanted to.
Rule number 5, rotation time. It's getting worse.
Hey, you know what I'm talking about when I say rotation time. Sometimes you sit still. She just puts her arms up and grabs the swingy thing.
Roll over. Rotation time. I'm laying back.
Alternate your time in different parts of the house so you're not always on top of each other. It literally sits on top of each other.
I'll just stay behind and we do it in the kitchen. There you go. There you go.
I'll check the mail.
Tip number 6, headphones. Put on some music or a podcast and enjoy some private time.
I'm going to do it, but I'm going to listen to the Rocky theme. Keep me inspired.
Yeah, I see the comment section. I know it's more of a Hank house.
Gonna fly down. Sorry.
Number 7.
Dr. Phil listens to the Rocky theme.
I absolutely do. I absolutely believe that Dr. Phil listens to the
Rocky. He's just singing it to himself.
I'm running up the steps now.
Rule number 7, vary your routine. Don't do the same thing every day.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and put on Chariots of Fire then.
I'm going to sleep
a little bit slower, but the motivation feels the same.
You could sleep in this other bedroom. What does that mean?
Rule number 8, don't be a disgusting slug. Instead of waking up and throwing on yesterday's clothes or some janky sweatpants, take a shower. Change. Do what you do if you were leaving the house.
Oh, my God.
Who are you talking to at the point where you're like, bathe? My God, man. Just bathe. Dr. Phil should not, look, unless he's talking to children specifically. Like, right, you're locked in that. You stink. You know you stink. Right? Bathe.
This guy got a doctorate for that. You know what I mean? Like,
I went to school for 8 years to tell you to bathe.
I appreciate someone that can open my chest cavity up and operate on my heart. This guy's just spewing BS.
Right.
He's still a doctor. If I'm like a doctor, I'm like, he ain't a doctor.
We're not done yet. Number 9, pay attention to the first 4 minutes of the day. The first 4.
After that, who gives a rat's pig peppered ass, am I right?
Remember, what you do in those first moments of interaction with your partner will set the tone for the rest of the day.
My partner would be my junk those 4 minutes of private time, brother.
Some people are morning people, man. You can't make them be happy.
And the final bit of tip of coexisting in the quarantine with Dr. Phil is, before you judge someone, keep in mind that you're probably a piece of crap, too.
Is that right?
They had to censor it.
You're a POS, you know that? No matter what you think, you turd. You are a turd with feet.
I can't offer any medical advice, so why don't I drop this?
Couple more coronavirus quick hits here for as far as television goes. The Dr. Oz Show, if you want to actually watch a doctor, will halt production after a staffer came down with the virus.
All right.
So there you go. The filming of Friends Reunion has the Friends Reunion special has been pushed back to May. If that date holds, it'll still be available when HBO Max launches in that same month.
How many people were living in an apartment then? Was it 6?
Oh.
There were 6 friends, but I think there was only at one time 3 people.
Legally, they can go on, right?
There's 2 for one apartment, 2 for another, and then the other 2 kind of lived in their own places.
Oh.
Yeah.
So they'd be self-quarantining.
Right. You could actually do the show. Technically.
That's fair, yeah.
Right, just couldn't go out for coffee.
There you go. Let's see here. Hugh Jackman has made the news. So a lot of people, like I said, they're kind of giving their own advice here on social media. Hugh Jackman, when this thing was early and it started off, made a video to show everybody how to properly wash your hands.
I wash my claws.
That's right. So he puts up this video inside of his giant ass bathroom and he washes his hands for 20 seconds. He does a little dance and jig around there having a good time. And there you go. That's how you wash your hands. A lot of people couldn't stand the fact that he left the faucet on while he was actually washing his hands.
Oh, come on.
And he got inundated with a bunch of people that were giving him a ration of crap because he left it on, to where he actually remade the video and apologized.
Maybe it's the Australian thing with the wildfires and the lack of water. I mean, there's probably something to that. But I
Maybe.
know. Yeah, I mean, maybe there's still a shortage of water.
See, I can't even get mad about them getting mad about that.
The fires just got put out, a week ago?
Right,
Nobody even knew.
Right.
So.
And again, I get it. We don't want to waste water. I feel that. Can we do one, tragedy at a time?
You know what you can do, Mike, tonight?
What's that?
When you go to bed, just leave the light in the living room on.
Okay.
You can go crazy. No one's going to say anything to you.
Would it stand the reason that they probably wasted more water filming any one of his movies?
Yes!
Right, than they did in the moment it took him to wash his hands.
Thank you, Mike. You are listening to the Men's Room Radio Network.
I'm sparkly.
I'm bubbly.
And together, we're Mineragua.
The fresh, sparkling water for those who are bubbling over with life
and crave new experiences.
Are you thirsty for adventure, more laughs, and more excitement?
With Mineragua in hand, it's easy to live life with sparkle.
Just look for the glass bottles with tiny bubbles wrapped in blue.
And you'll taste and feel the difference of Mineragua sparkling water.
Mineragua, get your fizz.
Men's Room returns with Miles and Thrill. Now, let's see what's happening in the real world.
All right, here we go. A little change in Florida as a Florida man takes off his pants after crashing into a car. We stay in Florida, and when you try to choke someone with your penis out who gave you a place to stay, you've taken it a little too far. A man on lockdown uses drone to walk his dog. Chicago strip club tried to stay open regardless of the ban, but people stayed home to flog. And a truck is found with 18,000 pounds of stolen toilet paper. It is time for your headline.
Now, it's time to hit the headlines. Here's my cock.
All right, our top story. We go to Italy, where authorities stopped a man walking about in public with no apparent regard for the nationwide lockdown. When cornered and asked what he was going out on the streets, he gave them the perfectly understandable excuse that he has to, quote, hunt the Pokemon.
He's playing Pokemon Go.
31-year-old was out playing the popular Pokemon Go to help pass the time. Regardless, though, he was sent home immediately. Again. You don't necessarily have to stand right on top of them to do this. If you're in any kind of a...
Let me ask you a question. The less people are out there, is the more stuff available?
No.
Oh, okay.
No.
Yeah, there's no advantage to that.
Okay, so that's what I was asking.
You spread a virus from Pokemon.
You did. Way to go, jerk. In other news, in Wisconsin, a 53-year-old woman acted out in a, quote, uncalled for way. At a local grocery store, one employee was doing his due diligence in sanitizing the freezer section. That's when he found the subject of our story, who saw what he was doing, gave him a quick look before licking the handle of one of the freezer doors. The handle was immediately sanitized again, and she was removed from the store. She said that she was doing it in an act of protest against the virus, and she later posted on her Instagram posing the question of why we're not talking about the fact that 68,000 people have recovered from COVID-19. We are. The thing is, we don't want it to get worse.
Yeah, like, why aren't we talking about them? Because they survived.
Right.
They're not the problem.
This isn't sensationalism that we're doing here. This is trying to, get people to take this seriously enough to where it doesn't continue to spread.
Yes, when you fixate on any one thing, then you're not getting all the information. Now, like we said, you don't have to like all the information that's out there, but stuff like this. So she wants to know, why aren't we talking about those people that are recovered? That's a fair question. While she is worried about that, have you thought about the fact that, the first 3 months it killed 100,000 people, or 100,000 people got the disease?
Right.
12 days after that, it doubled. So we focus on stuff like that because that is problematic.
Right.
People surviving is good, so we don't have to worry about them anymore. It's the same reason why the thing you're looking for is always the last place you looked, because you stop looking for it.
Right.
Right? That's all. Because good for them. That's
exactly. Why. And that's not, like you said, that's not an issue right now.
Right. That's not the problem.
We're not out of the woods yet.
Right.
It's not done. Yes, a lot of people are surviving. They're recovering. That's fantastic. Power to them. We're still not out of the woods here yet.
Right.
We got stuff to do.
We haven't even stepped into the woods yet.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Down in Oregon, the owner of a gentleman's lounge known as the Lucky Devil came up with a clever way that he could help the public. He originally floated the idea as a joke out on Facebook, but after the mass interest on the site, he decided to launch it. The lounge has launched a food delivery service in which the young ladies that work for the establishment will bring foods to those that are self-isolating in their own unique fashion.
I read that story earlier that he's going to do well.
Yes, he's going to do very well.
Very, very
He's already given back. This guy's a Renaissance man.
You know what? I'll come to you.
Yeah, exactly.
Not all are adapting to the times. A gentleman's club over in Chicago knuckled down and vowed to keep their doors open during the crisis. They went to their Facebook page and posted that they would be open for business as usual, saying that they were complying with the state and CDC guidelines of sanitization and were ready to give people an escape. Sadly, most people in self-isolation are attempting to avoid any kind of crowd, so there was very little, if any, turnout for that club, and he finally decided to shut the doors.
Yeah. I mean, look, man, when you're trying to avoid contact with people, the potential of someone in a G-string sitting on your lap is probably the lower end of things you want to do. What he could do, this would be my thought, like a lot of musicians right now are live streaming shows. They're not playing for anyone, but they're playing, and if you go to their Facebook page or something, you can watch. Right. Why not do that?
You bet. Oh, you know what? That's not a bad call.
Yeah,
what are those campsites where they have
don't act like you
don't
Bitcoin
know. Out. Of course I don't. Come on now. Yeah. Moving on. Not all are staying home in these times. We owe the comforts that we're able to experience in these times of isolation to the medical professionals, law enforcement, emergency services, and retail workers that are all working diligently during the outbreak. Also, we got a couple comments on sanitary workers, people that are still out there collecting garbage and recycling of everybody who's still staying at home. Let's see here. Walmart executives want their employees to know that the dedication has not gone unnoticed, so they are paying out $550 million to their hourly workers in the form of cash bonuses for their
All right,
work.
very good.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
You bet. A little bit.
Now there's nowhere to go and spend it.
Right.
Save it. After a party in Florida, one man learned that no good deed goes unpunished. As the festivities were winding down, the man found a, quote, friend of a friend that was clearly too intoxicated to drive. He offered to drive them home, but the man couldn't tell him his address, so he just took him to his house instead to give him a safe place to stay. Unfortunately, he was woken up in the middle of the night to the horrible sound and sight of his newfound roommate urinating all over the bedroom. This prompted the man to demand that he leave the home, which eventually caused a fight that got police involved. He was arrested and charged.
He said, well, I told you what I did. What I do wrong? I just peed all over his place. I don't even know who this guy is.
You got to get in a fight with a man who's peeing in your house.
Then he told the cop I didn't do anything wrong after he tried to attack them, too.
Because he's drunk.
Yeah.
Did he say that? I thought he just said, you know the story. Why do I have to retell you what the story is?
Because the guy said what happened. He was assaulted, punched, choked, and all that stuff. He's like, you already know what's the problem. Let me go. Can I go now?
Trying to do a guy a good deed. Doc got it. A man in New Mexico is facing charges after waking up from a blackout night. A man contacted police after he woke up in the morning with 2 TVs in his bedroom.
He called the police.
Well, no, he approached the police, yeah. Apparently, all that he remembers is knocking on the door with the empty home while he was, quote, very intoxicated, and after that, it just all went black. He was told a couple days later where the TVs belonged, and he went to return them, and he was arrested and charged.
Man. Tried to do the right thing, sort of.
Yep, that is it for your headlines. With that, Mike Hawk is out.
Thank Mike. We appreciate it. Hey, thank you. We needed your help all week. We needed you, frankly, probably quite more than you needed us. And
for sure.
Yeah, we appreciated you being there. We're going to be here next time around as far as we know.
All right. In the meantime, we be all about this bitch. So until next time, do what you do best. And for Aletha's sake, stay beautiful.
The Men's Room has been taped before a live studio audience. Wardrobe and makeup provided by Mantastic Limited. This has been a presentation of the Men's Room Radio Network.
Oh, man!
A Double Flush production.
Mom, I'm a little worried. I don't feel ready to be back at school.
Visit laurelsprings.com to learn more about a unique way of getting your child the personalized education they need. For 30 years, Laurel Springs School has been engaging global learners in grades kindergarten through 12th grade and integrating their passions and pursuits. Laurel Springs School. We build an education around you. Call or go online today.